Good afternoon and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, I got a lot of stuff taken care of for today. In all honesty, guys, I didn't get up like super early today. We didn't actually end up going to church. I told you guys we were supposed to today. We ended up not going today. And I didn't get up like super early today. I think I got up at like around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, something like that. So I wasn't really up that early this morning. And then, me and my mom actually ended up going, well, we were going to Aldi. And next to the Aldi that we've been going to, there is like a TJ Maxx and Home Goods. And they had some other place that we were in, Dress Barn, I think it was called. And so we actually went there first and looked around and didn't really see anything. And then we ended up going to TJ Maxx and we found some stuff, guys, at TJ Maxx. So we were out that way anyway, and I only got 3 things, but it was kind of like all a little expensive, just a little bit. I actually ended up getting this romper, which is like super cute, guys, which I know you can't really tell what it looks like because it's not even really on me, but it's really cute. It actually has these, it's straps that I actually do like, but it's off the shoulder, and I tried it on. It fits me really well. It was actually originally, well, it was compared at $19. It was TJ Maxx price $14.99, but then it was actually on clearance for $12. So it actually was not a bad price, and it did, like I said, it fit me well. I have one romper that didn't fit me very well. My mom bought me, I think, like at a thrift store or something like that for like a few bucks, and it didn't fit. So I was like, yes, now I actually have a romper that fits. I only kept the other one around just to say that I had a romper. So I got that. I also ended up getting 2 pairs of jeans. These were the first ones that I found, which were compared at $25. They were $19.99 American, or TJ Maxx price. They are American Eagle jeans, and these ones for me, they were skinny. They're 00. These ones my mom thought looked the best, I think, and I liked them too because I like the dark color of them. The only problem was that they were a little bit longer on me. But they were like stretch and they fit pretty well actually, but they were, like I said, a little bit longer on me. And then I ended up getting these other ones as well, which were the same price, but they're actually considered, I guess, jeggings. They're super stretchy and super soft, guys. I love these. They're so soft. But yeah, these ones are actually say that they're jeggings. So I guess they're not technically jeans, but are they? Like, technically, if they're not, they're jeggings. But yeah, these were also like a stretch fit as well, but these ones fit kind of well. The only problem was, again, it kind of looked like in the knee. Now the reason I like these ones the most was because they were so like stretchy and they fit so well, and they were super comfortable. Like I said, these ones, that's why these ones are probably my favorite. But it looked kind of awkward too because, again, since they were like they're like stretchy, so they ended up, again, all jeans on me. Every pair of jeans that I've ever owned since I was like 4 years old, probably, that I can remember ever putting on, have always been long on me. So no matter what kind of jeans I find, they're always too long. And like I said, these ones aren't super long or anything like that, like ridiculously like all over me long, but they were a little bit. So what I had to do is I pulled them up a little bit, and it actually made the knee look better. But when it was pulled all the way down, like further down, I guess, my leg, I don't know if that makes sense, it looked kind of bunched up in the knee, and the knees kind of looked a little bit weird. But like I said, I'm probably, honestly though, try them on just one more time. I tried them on when I was there, obviously, already, and since I know how they fit, but I might try them on one more time, and if I'm like, you know what, these really aren't fitting for me, honestly, guys, though, they're so much better than the jeans that I have like completely worn out, which I have like 3 pairs of that don't fit me like at all anymore, and pretty much are like 10 times worse than what the kind of the problem that I'm having with these already. But it was like the same thing, like the knee looks all like kind of bunched up and stuff like that. And I think though the two pairs that I had actually were like they didn't really fit me well again. I always wind up having, like, my jeans wind up going longer than my ankles. So, like, in the winter and stuff like that, it's totally fine because I wear boots anyways. You can't even tell or anything like that. But, like, in summer or, you know, more, like, not, like, when I might be wearing, like, flats or sandals with jeans or something like that, spring, fall kind of time, you know, it looks kind of awkward. And so, I can't really get away with doing that. But, the jeans that I have even now too, I have pretty much the exact same problem, whereas they're like kind of long on me, and so I have that like where I have to kind of like pull them up past my ankle. So short girl problems, guys. It's what I always wind up dealing with in the jeans section. But they were actually the only 2 pairs that were in my size, and so my mom was like, okay, I'll get them for you. So I actually did get clothes. I know yesterday I was complaining about how Jack got like 2 new pairs of shoes, and he ended up getting like, what was it, the snorkel and like all the other stuff, his new swim trunks and stuff like that. And I was complaining about that, and my mom was like, well, I'll take you out to TJ Maxx, we'll look for some jeans for you, because I was kind of like, I hadn't even mentioned it like at all recently. I brought it up like a few months ago, and now I'm in shorts because it's summer, you know, and so I haven't even brought it up for like quite some time. My mom was like, oh, let's look for jeans for you, and so I was like, okay, you know, I was like, and then I was like, well, I'll pay for like the 1 pair, because my mom was like, I'll get you 1 pair, and I was like, okay, and I was like, well, I like both of them, so I was like, I'll pay for the other one. She's like, okay, I'll pay for both of them, and the romper. I was like, oh, yay, thanks. So, yeah. Anyways, though, guys, then we ended up going there. We went to Aldi, came home, put away the groceries, everything like that. We actually did, though, in between, before going to Aldi, we decided not to go shopping on empty stomachs. We stopped at Potbelly, and we actually ended up getting sandwiches, which my cousin has worked at Potbelly, and I had only been there once because she worked there, and so I don't even remember. This was before I was a vegetarian, so I didn't know what to get, but they have a crazy good Mediterranean sandwich with hummus in there. Oh my gosh, but it was like spicy, and it had feta cheese, and it had what was it too, I wanted to say asparagus, not asparagus, it was artichoke hearts. Oh my gosh, guys, I never had artichoke on like a sandwich before, but it was so tasty. And so it was like really good. But I wasn't sure like if they had anything that was vegetarian there, or like if they did, it was like gonna be like a salad or some like salad wrap or something like that. But it was actually really good and super tasty and super filling. So we went there, then we ended up going to Aldi. We came back home, and then as soon as I put away the groceries, we ended up I went out in the backyard, guys, and I finished one of the flower beds that I thought was going to take me, like, I was like, this is going to be horrible, it's going to take me forever. There were, with the exception of one, there was one salvageable plant that was out there. Everything else was weeds, so it literally, I just took a hoe and a rake and a shovel and dug everything up out of that flower bed that was in there. And so it ended up taking me probably about an hour and a half or 2 hours or something like that. I'd say probably 2 hours at max. And I do have about like maybe a foot or 2 feet slightly like of a square tiny little area at the very back, but the only problem was we actually ended up I finished filling up one of the leaf bags, and I had actually stacked up some like stuff that I was pulling out from a different area and had put it there. And since we were filled up the leaf bag already, I was like, almost everything there was gone already, and I just had that like pile of stuff that was there, and I was like, I'll take care of this at a different time. So that was literally it. We also ended up hanging up a flower box under the window that was originally a friend of ours had made the flower box that's out for our front out in our front yard. And every single year we put like more, like, what is it, perennials in there, or no, annuals. No, wait, the ones that only come back once a year. Annuals, I think. So guys, we end up putting those there, and we pretty much do it every year. And we had a second one that was supposed to be for our upstairs window that's in our attic. Well, when my parents actually had our friend make it for us, never thought like how on earth we were supposed to get the dirt up there. Like, it's outside of our attic window, which is fine. Like, I guess we technically could, but how are we supposed to water it? Like, nothing ended up really making sense as to why they ended up doing that. Well, we had this flower box for probably close to, like, I don't want to say 20 years, but it's probably less than that, but more than 15 years at least. We've had it for like forever, and we had the second one, we never knew where to put it, so we actually put it out in our garage, over the window that's out there, which there's 2 side panel windows and 1 like large window in the middle right now, and so we put it there, and it's actually the perfect length where it goes right in the middle window, and then the 2 side panels. My mom was thinking maybe hanging like, or I had suggested doing like maybe potted, like not potted plants, but like hanging plants, like get little hangers to put like on there, and then we can get hanging plants for there. So I thought it was like, it honestly turned out so well, guys. And then our other garden that's around the side of our porch, like by our deck, turned out really well too. And my dad actually found a random 2 little like lights, like what's it called, like those little like garden lights or whatever, like the path lights kind of, and we have a set of them that are in our front yard, but we had just a random 2 my dad found in the garage that aren't even from the same set as that, and so he put them back there. It looks so pretty out there, guys. Like, it's a total transformation for our backyard. So then we were all kind of talking about like doing the fence in the backyard, which we've been planning on doing for like a few summers now, and I was like, it really needs to happen because we have this beautiful yard now. We have like, we can actually be out there, but I don't like to be out there without a fence. We've almost ever since we moved in the house had a fence, and a few years ago tore it down because it was rotting and it just needed to come down. It was tilting, it was like falling over and stuff like that. So finally my parents ended up taking it down, and we never put one back up, and they were planning on it, and it's like for me at least, uncomfortable being back there. So long story, it's gonna cost a whole lot of money to put up another fence, but my mom is like, well, if we can earn some money, and in her business, everything like that, and we might be able to like get the money that we need for that from like my mom's business and work and stuff like that. And so my dad, like, he has like had some money set aside and stuff like that, but that was for us like kind of doing it ourselves. And honestly though, guys, like getting the permit is going to cost money, and then on top of that, getting the materials, digging it, like manual labor for us to do it, on top of that, it's going to cost, like not a lot of money for us to do it, but like, our labor and stuff like that, and our time in general to try and get this up, it might not be done by this summer. And then the thing that would stink is if we got a permit to have it put up and then ended up not being able to get it done by this summer, then we'd have to pay like another permit for next year, which would then again stink. Or however that ends up working, because I think permits are only, my dad was saying, like good for a year or something like that. So long story, guys, it probably would be best if we paid somebody just to make sure that it got done all at one time, and by like somebody that knows what they're actually doing, because my dad's like, well, we should do this, and then we want to put up a 6-foot fence, like a privacy fence. But the problem with that is if we put up the privacy fence, then we probably have to do cement, and then like we have to, or if we don't, we have to figure out like how deep we have to dig, or we might get cement posts, and like everything is just, or not like cement posts, but like cement, like ground posts, like the things that are like anchors, that are like pre-made cement anchors. It's kind of a headache, guys. So we were just like, maybe we just go through somebody, but it's gonna cost a lot. So I was helping my mom then with like packaging and stuff like that, because she can like again with everything, she just needs help. Like, she can't do everything all by herself. So I was like, okay. And she offered actually to pay me this year for like working for her and stuff like that again. And I was like, okay, once the yard work's done. But then I was like, okay, here's the thing, I will work for free as long as you can promise me that we will get a fence up this year. I was like, and whatever money we earn and stuff like that will go for putting up the new fence and everything like that, because I am so into like this gardening and like lawn work and yard work stuff like that this year, that I want to be able to enjoy it, and I don't feel like I can, sitting in the backyard in the backyard we have now, because it's not, like, I feel like we're just way too open, because we're only one house away from a corner, and so there's like the streets right next to us over there, the streets over there, you know, we're right next to, not the alley, but like there's this like drive up kind of right there, like there's just a lot of people around us, and I feel like I can't feel comfortable in my backyard because it's just so open. Whereas it's not even like I don't know how to describe it. Like, even some, like, will have, like, bushes or whatever, like, in between the sides. Like, we don't have anything. We don't even have trees anymore on our property at all. So it's like we have, like, no privacy. Even the sun is, like, blaring down on us. And so there's, like, nothing that kind of, like, separates us from anything else. Either neighbors or, like, the other wild, pretty much. And so it's just, it's kind of irritating to be out there, but I love being out there, like doing all this yard work and stuff like that I want to be able to take advantage of it, and, you know, have like bonfires and stuff like that. But again, when I'm back there without like a fence or anything around me, I just feel very exposed to everything else, whereas you want to feel like, you know, kind of like sitting on a porch or something like that. You've got a roof and you've got, like, you know, maybe a little porch fence or something like that. Like, you can feel a little bit more comfortable, like it's almost an extension of your house. But as soon as I step out into the yard, I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like I'm out, like, in the middle of the street or something like that. Like, it just doesn't feel like that to me. And so that's why it's just like I don't love being out there. In our front yard's a little bit different. I mean, like, because we are so close to the street and there's sidewalk and everything like that, but we do have like bushes and stuff like that make it feel a little bit more like, you know, separation between like you and the rest of the world, kind of. And so, like, that would be really nice, but we don't have anywhere to sit in the front yard. We do in the backyard, but like I said, again, it's kind of not that like comfortable to sit back there. And obviously there's still a handful of things, you know, I'm not going to say we're done, but we're nowhere near being done. But we're not necessarily you know, like, actually not, like I said, not close to being done, but we're not that far away from it anymore. Like, I've gotten a handful of beds like left to finish up, and a handful of like weeds and areas to kind of pick through and stuff like that. And other than that, we are kind of done with the backyard. Just have behind the garage, I have the one little spot on the bed to fix up. I have rocks to fix up in the bed that I did. I've got one little spot on the side of the house. I've got the bed in the front lawn, and then I just need to finish up the little bit in between the driveways, which I'll probably actually end up doing that tomorrow, and probably the front bed by the front door tomorrow. Other than that, I'm pretty much done. Like I said, the big undertaking will probably wind up being back behind the garage, just because we kind of let nature take over back there, and that one's not so hot. But again, I thought that this the other bed was going to be horrible to work on. It actually ended up, because it was all just like kind of weeds, there was no plants I had to try and, you know, salvage. It was actually pretty fast, which was nice. So maybe, I mean, I've been working on some areas back there, and it's actually gone somewhat quickly, so I feel like it's not going to take that long to do, which would be pretty nice. So we'll see, guys. I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did, though, enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.